It's year 2313. Cole, a detective, is arriving on a mysterious planet in his spaceship. He's here because a few months earlier, a team of 4 astronauts traveled to this planet on a spaceship called Atropa, and since their arrival, there has been no communication from them, nor have they returned. Cole is on a mission to find them. He begins by looking through the files of the astronauts. The team includes Robert, the captain of the Atropa, Jacob, a technician, Andrew Jensen, a scientist, and Moira Williams, a doctor. Moira is also Cole's ex-wife, which is why he is especially focused on this mission. Right when he arrives on the planet, Cole detects a signal from a spaceship in orbit around the planet. He realizes it's the Atropa, the very spaceship he's been searching for. Cole tries to contact them using a transmitter, but gets no response. Determined, he pilots his ship closer to the Atropa, and for some unknown reason, decides to manually enter the spaceship by going out into space. Cole had a hard time getting inside, where he discovered that the 4 astronauts were still in cryosleep inside their pods. This meant they hadn't landed on the planet yet, even though they were supposed to have arrived months ago. Cole checked the spaceship's system and found that for some unknown reasons, time was moving backward. He quickly woke up the astronauts and asked them what they were doing there for so long, and explained that he had come looking for them. The captain insisted that, according to their system, they were on schedule. However, Cole pointed out that their spaceship's time was 8 months behind the external time, which was very strange. As they tried to figure out what was happening, their ship was suddenly hit hard by something big. Everyone rushed to see what it was, and to their shock, they saw another spaceship just like theirs that had collided with them. They were all puzzled because there was supposed to be only one spaceship named Atropa, named by Captain Robert. Their spaceship was now heavily damaged, making it impossible to move forward. All communication devices were down, leaving them able to only receive messages but not send any. Cole decided they needed to investigate the other spaceship to find out who was there and why it looked just like theirs. Everyone agreed to follow his lead. Cole puts on his spacesuit, while ex-wife Moira asks him why he has returned after so many years. Cole responds that there's no time to discuss this. He then moves to another spaceship by walking through space, staying in touch with his team using a transmitter. Once inside, Cole notices that the inside of this spaceship looks a lot like their own, but it's all messed up because of a crash. He then finds a photo of his ex-wife Moira with Captain Robert, which is strange because the same photo is also on the other ship. The rest of the crew is also puzzled about how this photo ended up on this ship. Cole begins to transfer all the ship's data back to his team for analysis. Suddenly, he spots a body floating nearby. Approaching, he discovers it's Jacob Sanders. But since Jacob is already on the other ship, Cole wonders who this could be. The crew realizes the ship could explode at any moment, and they urge Cole to leave immediately to avoid being caught in the blast. Cole quickly returns to his ship with Jacob's body. Just in time, as the ship begins to explode, Cole narrowly escapes with Jacob's body. Cole finally returned to his ship, where the crew discovered Jacob's body next to Cole. Seeing his own body, Jacob was shocked and couldn't understand how it was possible. To help him, Moira gave him a sedative. When Cole woke up, Moira explained that another ship had been destroyed in an explosion. This led them to wonder if there might be another version of themselves, aside from Jacob, because the other ship had a similar engine, and the situation was confusing to everyone. Then, scientist Andrew Jensen gathered everyone in the lab, revealing he had analyzed data from the other ship. He explained that the other ship, named Atropa, was exactly like theirs and had been on the same journey until they collided. This collision suggested that the other ship was a future version of theirs. The proximity to a planet caused a space-time warp, making their time lag behind the external time. This time distortion, caused by the gravitational pull of a nearby larger planet, created a time loop. They discovered that they were experiencing events 15 hours after they happened, a fact unknown to them since they were in cryogenic sleep. This situation meant that the exploded ship was their future version, and in 15 hours, their ship would face the same fate due to the space-time curve causing them to time travel to the moment of collision with another version of the Atropa ship. Jacob from the Atropa ship is in danger of dying in the next 15 hours, just like another Jacob from a second ship who has already died. Moira examined the deceased Jacob and found that his death was caused by a gun believed to be Cole's. However, Cole insists that his gun still has all its bullets, raising questions about how the death occurred. Jensen suggests that the event hasn't happened yet, but will occur in the next 15 hours, with Jacob likely to be shot by Cole's gun. Despite Cole's protests that he wouldn't do such a thing, The captain decides to lock away Cole's gun to prevent any risk. With only 15 hours left before the ship is expected to explode, Jensen proposes escaping on a shuttle. However, the captain rejects the idea, pointing out that they have limited oxygen and insufficient power to escape the planet's gravity. They need to wake Jacob up from being unconscious and get the ship started with his help to leave the planet before the ship travels back in time. Everyone wakes Jacob up. When Jacob learns he was threatened with a Cole gun and might die, he gets scared, attacks Jensen, and runs away. The others search for him since he's the only engineer who can fix the spaceship. While searching, Cole and the captain discover the ship's core is severely damaged from the collision. Cole says the ship might blow up like the other did because its core is broken. They need to find Jacob and get his help. Meanwhile, scientist Jensen, worried about Jacob running away, decides to leave by himself in an escape shuttle. The rest of the crew tries to stop him when they find out, but it's too late. He's already gone. His shuttle is being pulled by the massive planet's gravity, which he can't control. The crew watches him on the ship's camera, zooming in on the planet's rings, shocked by what they see. Jensen realizes his shuttle is stuck because of the gravity, leading to a major twist in the story. Jensen discovers that there are millions of escape shuttles flying around the planet, each one carrying a different version of himself. This isn't the first time it has happened. This is not the first time loop of all of them. Before this, their ship has gone through millions of time loop. Every version of Jensen makes the same mistake, and their escape shuttle ends up trapped by the planet's gravity. The rings they see around the planet are actually made up of the millions of escape shuttles with different versions of Jensen, who all get trapped and eventually die because they ran out of air to breathe. Now on the Atropa ship, Cole, Moira, and the captain were shocked to discover they were caught in a never-ending infinite time loop, where countless versions of themselves had been killed previously. The captain wondered if their death was unavoidable, but Cole believed they could still escape if they managed to start the ship and leave the planet while Jacob was still alive. They needed to find Jacob, convince him to fix the ship, and possibly use the escape shuttle they had. Ready to try again, they learned they had limited time left on the ship. So, they split up to search for Jacob, the engineer who could repair the ship. The captain went one way to look for Jacob, while Moira and Cole took another path to find him. The ship's power dropped suddenly to a dangerous level, and everything shut down. This caused Cole to get stuck in the medical room. He even tried to break the window to get out, but the glass was too strong. So, Moira told him she had left his gun in a cupboard, which he could use to break the glass. However, Moira had the cupboard key, so Cole had to break open the cupboard with his hands. Meanwhile, Jacob sneaked up on the captain with a knife, demanding they leave immediately using the last escape shuttle. He believed that staying would lead to Cole killing him. The captain tried to convince Jacob that the past doesn't have to repeat itself, and that they actually needed his help to restart the ship and escape. Jacob insists he must save himself, so he takes a security card from the captain. This card allows him to escape alone in the shuttle. The captain informs Moira over the radio that Jacob is fleeing with his card. Moira tries to stop him by herself, while Cole struggles to unlock a cupboard to get a gun. Moira confronts Jacob on his way to the shuttle. The captain catches up to them, and he and Moira attempt to persuade Jacob not to leave, as it would doom them all. Meanwhile, Cole manages to open the cupboard and fires shots to shatter the glass, alerting everyone with the noise. Panicked and thinking he's about to die, Jacob stabs the captain in a desperate attempt to protect himself, killing him. Realizing the grave error he made, Jacob is overwhelmed with fear and guilt. Jacob is really scared because he made a big mistake, and he just sits there feeling afraid. When Moira screams, Cole rushes over to where the captain has died. Moira is very angry and grabs a gun from near Cole, aiming it at Jacob. She threatens that Jacob might die by her hand instead of Cole's. Moira is upset over the captain's death and is ready to shoot Jacob. Cole yells to stop her, explaining that they need to break the cycle they're stuck in. In past cycles, Jacob was always killed, and they never escaped. But this time, they must get away, and Jacob is crucial because he's the only one who can control the ship. This is their chance to break free from the cycle. Moira, convinced by Cole, lowers the gun. Cole believes they still have time to change their fate because the ship will soon travel through time again for 15 hours, and they'll encounter a new version of the ship. Jacob admits he's been terrified of dying, which led to the captain's accidental death. 3 of them hurry from this location to the main engine room, where Jacob is now working to get the system back online. Meanwhile, Cole points out that they still face a challenge: how to end the time loop. He mentions that another version of himself will soon arrive looking for the Atropa plant. Furthermore, if they manage to escape the time loop, there will be two Coles existing at the same time, creating a paradox of having two versions of the same person in the same timeline. Jacob explains that they cannot move the ship because it has low power due to a previous collision. Jacob must manually control whatever power remains. Suddenly, the ship is teleported 15 hours back in time, and they start receiving messages from Cole's other version on their radio. These messages are from when Cole arrived to find Atropa like the beginning of the story, but he didn't receive any responses. And now we are getting to know the reason for that, because device that sends messages from the ship broke after the first crash. Cole comes up with a plan to leave through the escape shuttle and meet with his past version. However, Jacob explains he must stay behind to manually control the ship. Cole and Moira rush to the escape hatch, where Cole, about to enter the escape shuttle, suggests Moira should go alone. Moira worries Cole will die if left behind, but Cole accepts his fate, believing Moira will find his another version there. With this, she can escape from here. Actually, this is the only way to stop this time paradox. A person cannot exist in two forms in the same universe, so one version of Cole must die here. Now, Moira finally understands everything. With a heavy heart, she agrees to leave through the escape pod alone. Cole sends her to his past version's ship by using the last escape shuttle. Cole then runs to Jacob and tells him they have a plan to end this loop forever, but they both must sacrifice themselves. Jacob realizes that his countless past versions have died in this time loop, so he was ready to give his last life and stop this loop forever. They came up with a plan to crash their ship into the past version of Atropa, which Cole discovered at the start of the story. When it shows up, to eliminate the last remaining versions of themselves and stop the time loop. They carried out the plan. During the crash, Jacob triggered a huge explosion that destroyed both ships and killed everyone inside. Cole, aiming to avoid a paradox, chose to sacrifice himself while thinking about Moira. From this point on, the ship would not survive or travel through time anymore, effectively ending the time loop. Cole's earlier version, warned by Moira, saw this from far away. Moira then left with a past version of Cole, marking the end of the story. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more science fiction videos. Thank you.